Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever live stream edition of The Wrap right here on YouTube as we recap the highs and lows of WWE SummerSlam 2023. I'm Keila Cash, aka Lady Wrestling X, and by my side, as always, is my co-captain, my right hand, the sometimes advocate for the rapidly improving Von Wagner. I bring to you for the first time ever on YouTube. I think he'll be perky the entire show. I'm not sure about that, but I bring to you as always, Scott Young or Perky.
Thank you
Your
for having me,
choice,
Keila.
your pick.
As always, it's a pleasure to chop it up and talk all things WWE. And we are live and uncut like Tip Drill on BET at 2 a.m. in the morning.
That is quite the visual. I don't want to see any credit cards being swiped by you, Scott, in any places during this show. I want to clarify right now. But to keep it tame and simple, I want to toss it over to our leader, our boss man, Gigi, to offer some thanks about what we've been doing this week on the Fight Game Media Network Plus.
All right, I will be quick here. We don't need to hear my thoughts on SummerSlam. John La Rocca and I were posting videos on our YouTube page under the shorts, the new video style that they have. Shorts, we basically reviewed matches. So if you want to hear me and my thoughts, you can go there, check out our YouTube shorts. The only thing I want to do two things here. I want to say, first off, this is awesome. Keila and Scott doing their very first live stream. So WWE folks, hopefully you enjoy seeing this guy, seeing this show live. Though we got to figure out what's going on with Scott's audio. So I may stick around a little while until we get Scott back. But the other thing I want to say is, if you are listening to this on the Patreon, because we are putting the audio as our normal show for the wrap, you know about the Patreon and the changes that we had to make, and we added a lot of shows and we added a tier. So I just wanted to say to the folks who are listening to this on the Patreon to thank you for sticking with us through the transition, and we're hopeful that folks watching on YouTube who may not be a part of the Patreon will be interested in subscribing. So, and then the second thing is one thing about going live on YouTube is there are these things called super chats, and that is going to be a way for the viewer to sort of support the podcaster. So if you have a super chat, that will get on screen on this show. If you are a part of the Patreon and you have a question, we will try and make sure that you get on screen as well. And if not, we will still try and put questions through and such, but those are going to be the priority. Again, you don't have to do this. This is just to help out Scott and Keila. And do we have audio from Scott? Is everything all good?
Yeah, clearly you guys can see that we need it. Clearly I need it. Obviously, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Rey Mysterio is mad that he wasn't on the show, so now he's booyahing me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's because he doesn't like my don't drink the haterade, Jamie Hater koozie. I don't know what it could be, but clearly we need it. So help us out.
Yes. So I'm going to go away. I will disappear. I will produce a show behind the scenes for Scott and Keila, offer them support. And you guys, if you guys need anything, you can holler at me. People won't be able to see me, but I'll still be behind the screen here. So go ahead, do your thing. Can't wait. Listen to the wrap recap SummerSlam.
All righty, thank you so much, Gigi. But it's now time for me and Scott to discuss all things
I can't hear
SummerSlam.
You. I can't hear you. I can't.
You can't hear me.
Playing. I'm back. I'm just
Dude, you know
we
what?
live, baby. Woo!
See, you tried it. We are live, and you jinxing me playing games. This is what people get to see live, that we play around a lot. So he's already got me playing games because Rey Mysterio played games with his audio for like 2 good minutes. But we're back here recapping SummerSlam 2023. As always, we like to give a little ancillary thoughts on the show. So, Scott, your overall scope for this year's SummerSlam, going down live from Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan.
I thought the back half was very strong outside of that Bella Twins finish, but I thought overall the pay-per-view I thought it was a good pay-per-view. Definitely not quite WrestleMania level. Definitely didn't reach that level, which is what they want SummerSlam to be. But it was a good show.
It was a very solid show. There was probably one match I did not care for very much, but overall, on the whole, it was a very good show. I was thoroughly entertained, and I think that our prophecy of 4 women's matches fell through. We did like the preview after the Great American Bash for NXT, and then the next night on Monday Night Raw, they pulled Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus to Winnipeg in 2 weeks' time on Monday Night Raw. So bye bye prophecy. We got 2 matches for the ladies last night, not 3, not 4.
Well, we got 5 women on the card, so there's that. We didn't get the 4 matches, but we got 5 women, so
We tried. We did.
we tried. We tried to, and you know what? I think I would have swapped out, and don't even get us started on Mommy. We barely got Mommy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Raquel was right there. Liv was right there. I mean, like, why couldn't Mommy just destroy Liv Morgan at the pay-per-view real quick, destroy her after the match, and now you have Raquel set up for revenge the rest going into the fall.
Exactly. Right in
But
time
it took
for
10 minutes.
payback.
But it took 10
See?
minutes.
But we couldn't get that. To have Mommy, Rhea Ripley, make a cameo appearance at SummerSlam, highly disrespectful, very, very rude. But we'll get to all of that shortly as we kick things off with the opening match of SummerSlam. It is Logan Paul versus Ricochet. And Scott was deathly terrified of this match when it was initially announced a few weeks ago on Monday Night Raw, because we got to go back to Money in the Bank back at the O2 Arena in London, England last month. And they had that botched Spanish Fly that terrified Scott so much he didn't even want to see the match at SummerSlam. But I said, listen, we have to watch it. It's going to be a spectacle. We're going to have Prince Puma versus Will Ospreay 2.0 in the ring. But it wasn't quite that, and it's not quite 5 stars, but still, for what they did for a good 15 minutes, I was highly entertained, and they made up for the botched Spanish Fly by remembering the spot and then doing it on the floor.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The first 3-4 minutes of the match had me a little concerned. I just, these guys are just way too ambitious. They're moving so fast. I was like, yo, they are gonna just do. I was expecting that. I was expecting them to try like a moonsault into a Spanish Fly. That's what I was expecting to come next. The way they were going, but no, I will say they settled into a nice groove. And one thing I noticed about Logan Paul, whenever he did, not necessarily mess up a move, but whenever something didn't go quite as planned, he wouldn't get frustrated or anything. You would see he would just kind of play to the crowd. He would make sure the crowd was always still invested, always still into the match, whether it was going at them, whether it was, trying to be like, hey, I can't hear you. Y'all not making no noise, always doing something like that. So I appreciate him at least, recognizing that as long as we keep the crowd engaged, we're going to get this right. We're going to get this going. And they did. I thought they caught a real nice groove towards the end of the match. And, they were throwing some pretty hard shots, and it looked and felt like a physical match, even though they were doing some high flying stuff.
It was a good balance. The first 4 minutes, I will agree with you, was a little bit slow for me. They was kind of testing the waters. But as soon as they kind of let loose and told the story, it worked pretty well. Got to shout out the buckshot lariat out of the ring to the floor by Logan Paul to Ricochet. That was nasty and clean at the exact same time. We got power slams. We got some Logan Hogan flexes in the ring, which I was thoroughly entertained by. Just playing to the crowd. Just a lot of great action down the stretch. And I do love that balance of we can fly, but we can also be physical and just tell a story that makes sense at the end of the day.
And I will say this, and again, props to Logan Paul. He knows how to be a heel. The best way to get heel heat in 2023 is to definitely do Hulk Hogan poses. Nobody's rooting for that guy in 2023. So there's no better way to get heat. Great job, Logan Paul. Perfect person to imitate.
Yes, to get the maximum heel heat. He must have thought he was at the Silver Dome playing up some WrestleMania 3 vibes from 1987. Hey, listen, I remember my location. I didn't call it a Superdome, damn it. It's Silver Dome, Hogan. But we have Ricochet going for the 630. He misses, rolls through. And then Logan Paul gets an assist from a friend at ringside. And his friend slips him some brass knucks. And Michael Cole is like apoplectic at ringside saying, "Oh no, not this way. He's going to cheat. Turn around, ref. You don't know what's going to happen. Ricochet, watch your back." And sure enough, Ricochet gets knocked out with brass knucks by Logan Paul. And Logan Paul picks up the very tainted victory. And Michael Cole keeps it real. What a great match. But the finish absolutely sucked. Michael Cole, you're a real one, always.
I would have changed one thing about the finish. You know, they've been kind of going back and forth about going viral and doing the viral moment. I would have had Logan Paul hit that one punch knockout, but then I would have had him do, you know, a shooting star press or something, some type of flashy finish just because he can. You know, and that's something an arrogant prick would do. He's super athletic. So he's like, yeah, let me just do this. Even though I know the match is over, let me do this anyway. That's the only thing I would have done differently. But I kind of thought the finish was a little flat too. I thought it came out of nowhere. Didn't really feel like it was built to this, you know, one knockout punch. Like I would have liked Ricochet. I would have liked to seen him kick out of one of those. Then you get the brass knucks, you know. So I don't know. That's a little thing. Match was solid. 3 3/4 tiers for me.
I would give it 3 and 3/4 tiers as well. Not quite 4. Finish was kind of for me, but overall, I enjoyed the match and it opens the door for a return battle down the road. I feel like there's more left in the arsenal for both guys to go out there and really tear it up. Possibly a payback if they want to run it back between now and the end of the year. But they gave us a taste, and I want a bit more from both guys. We didn't get that viral moment we were expecting, but still, solid way to kick off the show. Got Logan Paul the hell out of Detroit. Hopefully made it to Dallas in time for his brother's fight against Diaz. But yeah, great opener to SummerSlam. Logan Paul continues to impress in the ring for his 2 years on the job so far in WWE.
Yeah, I don't think you can really ask for much more out of Logan Paul. Like he fits right in. Like when you look forward to his matches because you know he's going to be good. Like even this match, like as kind of rough as it started, it really settled into a really good match, man. Like again, I'm not opposed to a short Logan Paul like month reign, you know, little US IC whenever Gunther loses eventually title reign down the road. Like I think it would be pretty cool to have him walking around with that belt, having it on his podcast. Like that's something I hope they at least consider in the future because he's really good, man. I hope we get to see more of Logan Paul.
Me too. Questionable human being, but a really
No,
great professional wrestler.
absolutely. Absolutely. And let me say this too. I feel like guys like Ricochet get something out of working with the Logan Paul because of who he is outside of wrestling. So they're gonna see him working with Ricochet and seeing Ricochet doing these things. But yo, who's the guy? Who's that guy is wrestling? You know what I mean? So I think this is good for a guy like Ricochet to get this kind of exposure and be working with Logan Paul and to be able to do the stuff that he does because people are going to see that and hopefully latch on to him.
Exactly. And he's gaining confidence on the microphone as well, which is very good to
Mhm.
see. So it just gives him that extra to really express himself as a personality because Logan Paul is a natural asshole. So why not lean into that by giving it back to him on the microphone, which he has done so in recent weeks, which we appreciate. But enough about Logan Paul and Ricochet. Good opener. Let's get to the David versus Goliath match of the night. It was Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. It is a trilogy, the final chapter of the story dating back to after WrestleMania when Cody lost the championship shot to Roman Reigns. It still makes me sad. I will never let it go into next year's WrestleMania. But up until this point, it is a mystery as to why Brock Lesnar attacked Cody the night after WrestleMania. We
I
are
already
still
told
left.
you why. Nope. I told you why. I told you why last week. Okay. Before the tag team match, Brock offered that man some shine. Okay. He offered that man some shine. And Cody said, no, I'll have it after the match. Let's win the match. And Brock was like, word, you don't think we're going to win the match? You carrying me like that? And that's what happened. That's what happened. You don't turn down Brock's shine. You saw what happened to MVP.
Listen, okay, a battle over moonshine rejection.
We've seen it over coffee, shampoo. Why not moonshine? Why not moonshine?
It's somewhat plausible and better than what Brock has not given us for 3 months. But in any event, it is the final chapter of this rivalry. And I got to say, this is my favorite match in their series. And Cody Rhodes took an absolute beating for 20 minutes. He went to Suplex City, and Brock Lesnar, benevolent as he is, was trying to get Cody to stay out of the ring, take the count out loss. He wanted to save his life, but Cody kept coming back for more and more and more. And Brock got irritated. Let me F5 you on the floor. Let me F5 you through the table. I want to take you out, maul you, destroy you. But Cody kept rising from the ashes every single time, hitting disaster kicks. The Cody cutter, the bounce up off the top rope was pretty sweet as well.
That was
But
nice.
eventually, we had Cody go in the Brock Lesnar bag. Let's lock in a Kimura. Let's have the beast tap out. Brock said, nope, ain't tapping out. Gets back up, powers through. But Cody exposed the turnbuckle, and Brock hit his head on said turnbuckle. Did not bleed, did not shed a single bit of blood in this match, restrained by Brock. And then Cody hits not one, not two, but three Cody cutters. I take that back. No. 3 crossroads to pick up the victory over Brock Lesnar to win the series. But after the match is over, Brock Lesnar does something incredibly rare. He stands face to face, forehead to forehead, touching to Cody Rhodes, and he shakes the man's hand. They hug. There's mutual respect. They pose. Brock gives Cody the floor, and Brock becomes a babyface once again because, like you, Scott, despite your moonshine excuse, he had no good reason to come for Cody for 3 months. So he said, here, sir, let's hug it out. Respect.
So I already told you what it is. It's the shine. It's the shine. I'm always going to go back to the shine. But listen, couple of things about the match. First of all, Keila, I have a question for you, and please correct me if maybe I missed something. Was this match no DQ?
No, there was no steps. This was a regular wrestling match.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure I saw Cody Rhodes just pick up the steel steps and ram him into Brock Lesnar right in front of the referee. You know, it just during the middle of the match. I didn't imagine that, right?
No.
Okay. So not only did we got Cody brought over a couple AEW refs as well. So there's that. Now we're just letting anything go. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Seriously, on top of that, I'm glad you mentioned the countouts because for a second there, I thought we were having a last man standing match the way we kept counting to 10. So I didn't know what was going on for a second. Then, but the match was fine. The match was good. Those are things that just bother me. Like, you really just use steel steps like that in front of the referee, and the referee just stood there. Like, come on, man. I was flabbergasted by that. I can't believe that Cody and Brock would do that right in front of the ref. Like, why couldn't Brock just kick the ref? Why couldn't he just kick the ref? He tosses refs all the time. Why couldn't he just toss the ref? I don't know. Maybe I'm being too critical, but that's what we on. We doing last man standing matches and then just hitting people with steps in regular matches and not getting DQ'd. Come on, man. 3.5 tiers. Match was fine. The finish was good. I love the Cody cutter from the top rope, but those things really kind of bothered me about the match.
You're very picky now. They worked outside the lines. Okay.
What you mean outside the lines? He hit him with steel steps.
Semantics. Okay. He did what he needed to do, but it was a cute way to work around a step. Let's have this man get up at 9.5 at least 5 times to milk the moment, and the fans kept getting involved. They didn't turn on the match. They wanted Cody to win. They rooted for him. The energy amplified, and Brock was perfect trying to get the win by any means necessary. Let me get a count out. Let me spare Cody's life because, as I keep saying, Brock had no reason to come for this man, and he felt guilty about it.
Maybe Brock didn't get an invite to the cookout and he feels some type of way because Cody did. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe Brock wants to go to Wakanda and Cody was like, nah. You know what I'm saying?
Sir. Now you know he is not going to roast Conda anytime soon.
Let me tell you this though. Let me tell you this. He may not be going, but if Brock show up at that door, there's gonna be a thought like, "Yo, we ready to go to war? Hey, somebody go get the armor. We ain't fighting him barehanded. Somebody go get that armor and get some vibranium, because this is a monster."
Killmonger could never. I'm just saying.
Killmonger would blow that man away with no diplomacy. Okay, I'm talking about somebody who got some like decency to him, like a T'Challa. You talking about Killmonger would blow that man away and not think twice.
You're probably right, but I still need that in my life. Okay, don't shoot down my hopes and dreams like that. Okay, let me hang on to something. But still, very good match. I would give it 4.25 tears out of 10. Unlike Scott, who is very stingy with his tears tonight.
Okay, true that. I saw a lot of love for it. I just, once I saw a boy hit him with the steps, I was like, word, that's what we on tonight. Okay, cool.
The AEW Dynamite special brought to you by Cody Rhodes, minus the Cody verse.
Cody verse is in full effect.
No, not yet. He's avoided the trapping. So far, so good.
You're right. Brandy hasn't shown up yet. Once Brandy shows up, that's when the Cody verse is in full effect.
Exactly. And her restraint has been amazing. I've been trying to manifest her appearance in WWE for over a year, and she keeps letting me down. Damn it, Brandy. Stop teasing on Twitter that you're going to show up and you don't. Damn it. I'm going to show up at WrestleMania in the crowd with the baby.
That's it. That's good. That's good.
Fine. Just to make sure that you're happy and you're content that she's not on TV, but I want her at some point. So let's do that, shall we? As we move on to the Slim Jim Battle Royale. Let's get 20 people on the show so they can get paid match involving LA Knight, Apollo Crews, JD McDonough. Was he in the match? Yes, he was. Blinking.
I saw the head. I saw the head floating. I didn't see his body though. I didn't see the body. I just saw the head, and I was like, "Oh, there go my boy. There go my boy." I see him floating out there. I didn't see him get thrown out though. I didn't see him get thrown out.
No, it was blinking and you missed it. I didn't know who did it. We had Rick Boogs, Otis, Ivar, Eric,
I didn't even see
Nakamura. Yeah, I did. I mean, it's short hair. I mean, you can't help it. Looking like a.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Looking like Freddie Mercury, swole. I'm just saying, dude. Come on.
True that.
Then we have Shinsuke Nakamura, Tommaso Ciampa, Cameron Grimes, Austin Theory, Santos Escobar, Giovanni Vinci, Ludwig Kaiser, Ridge Holland, Butch, Matt Riddle, Omos, The Miz, Grayson Waller, Karrion Kross, Chad Gable, Bronson Reed, AJ Styles, and Sheamus. And of course, the star of our show, the aforementioned LA Knight. And this is basically his match to lose. He needed the win. The crowd has been supporting him as of late, and he's on the brink of a major babyface run. Had a little snafu on SmackDown the night before versus Sheamus, had the botched, trying to do the vertical leap on the top rope, and they both fell on the ground. It was gnarly, but in this case, they made up for it down the stretch, found out 2 guys, but some nice moments involving your guy, The Miz, and his doppelganger, Grayson Waller, doing mirror things. So we know the similarities are real. Of WWE is acknowledging it. And they had Omos return, and then he was, dumping people accordingly. Then he got dumped by everybody. But this did come down to AJ Styles, Sheamus, and LA Knight, and Karrion Kross eliminated AJ Styles from this match. Next to an assist from Sheamus comes down to Sheamus and LA Knight. They make up for that vertical leap spot on SmackDown, hit the suplex perfectly, and it comes down to LA Knight eliminating Sheamus in the clutch to win the Battle Royal, to get the crowd pop. And this was the best decision of the evening in terms of listen to what the people want. They want LA Knight. He's so over right now, and we predicted this over a year ago when we thought he would be somebody on the main roster, and look where he is right now. Hopefully a sign of things to come.
Yeah, and one of the things that that this match kind of showed me is that the clear difference between Triple H and Vince McMahon making the decisions of who's winning matches, at least these matches, because if this was Vince McMahon booking, LA Knight would have been the runner-up and Omos would have won. Omos would have definitely won that match, especially doing his big return and whatnot. No question. So I appreciated that. He was definitely over. I like the fact they went back to that spot that you brought up. I appreciate that as well. I wouldn't mind a Miz Grayson Waller tag team. I thought that little combo spot they did was pretty cool. I wish Bronson Reed would have got a little bit more shine. Like, these are the type of matches where you should be really letting him, just go ham, go crazy. There's no reason for everybody doesn't need an elimination. So just let guys like Omos and Bronson Reed just toss the field, and then they get eliminated. But, Bronson Reed's just being wasted. He's just there. I'm glad LA Knight won, but my guy JD was just floating around. Bronson Reed ain't doing nothing. Omos got his brand new vibranium suit on. He got tossed out. Shout out to LA Knight, but this was absolutely a waste of time.
This was the LA Knight special. This was specifically for him. I'm not going to knock it. It was kind of a waste of time, but hey, he got the win. That's all that matters. He got the pop, and I hope that it carries over. But I think that one of the critiques that is kind of true is the fact that the mechanics in the ring can be very rough around the edges at times. And I did read some articles courtesy of Wade Keller from PW Torch that might be a detriment to his push in WWE. So if he cleans up those areas of his game, then he will be the complete performer WWE wants him to be on the mic and in the ring. And I do see that for him, but there was some flaws definitely on SmackDown that I took note of, because I guess the speculations and rumors are true about some things not being as tight and clean with LA Knight in the ring at times.
2 tiers for me.
I would give it a solid 2 tiers as well. We agree. I'm not going to go over or under, just right there. But I can safely say the next match is not going to get 2 tiers out of me.
I need another drink. Hold on.
It's bad when my co-captain's got to get a little bubbly, a little something. As we dive into probably
I gotta finish this one so I can open this one so I can talk about this next match.
Oh my gosh. To finish it, to wash it down.
Oh my god.
I'm
so sorry. I need it. I needed to get through what we're about to go through.
And I'm sorry. So it's traumatizing for both of us. He's going to pop open the can right now as we process the MMA rules match between Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. I want to preface this by saying that the video packages they did on Monday Night Raw were tremendous. I love them. They were great character pieces for Ronda and Shayna. They showed genuine human emotion. Real tears were shed. You felt their pain, their anguish, their animosity for each other. And I was like, I'm sold. Like, you made me want to see this match at SummerSlam, and then it happened, and it was not very good. It was just there. The fans didn't know what to think about it. The rules are kind of confusing. The grappling was so. And I thought to myself, you know what we could have used for this match? The fight pit. That would have been the way to culminate this rivalry, make it as personal as possible, have the cage, the atmosphere would have been perfect for it. But no, let's do an MMA rules match in a wrestling ring, not even an octagon. Let's not even pretend. Let's just do something, play around with it. And it just ended very flatly with Shayna putting Ronda to sleep with the coup for the clutch. Night, night.
Bye. I was again, Becky Lynch versus Trish was right there. Real quick, I don't want to spend too much time on this match because clearly they didn't spend too much time on thinking it out. I will say that I feel like, this could have just been a submission match. You could have just had them. I mean, if the finish is going to be her choking her out, her putting her to sleep the way Ronda has been putting all of us to sleep for weeks, then I think, you could have just made this a submission match. I don't know. I feel bad for Shayna. I don't think she really gets a lot out of this. Where does she go from here? She was positioned as the babyface here, but what heel does she feud with and why? where does she go from here as the heel, as the babyface, when she's been this, when at her best, at her peak in NXT, she was this badass dominant heel. So I don't know where they go with it. I give this a tier and a half.
I would give this a single tier. I can't
Ooh.
even go the tier and a half. This was not very good at all. And by Rhonda, you saying weeks? It's been over a year, and she's made me dreary and bored. There have been moments here and there when I've cared, but the Ronda Rousey of 2018 is checked out a long time ago. She ain't coming back anytime soon, and therefore you can go, honey. Go away. Don't come back anytime soon until you actually care about this again. Because for me, I don't see it for her. I love Shayna, but this was just a very flat finish for me. And it didn't overstay its welcome, but it definitely didn't do much for me at all in the ring.
Yeah, and I don't, and maybe this is just me. I don't really see Shayna as like a top tier dominant heel, but I could definitely see her being that heel that a babyface has to overcome to get to the title, to get to being the top babyface. Like, I think she's that great right beneath the main event heel that you have to topple and overcome. She beats everybody except the Bianca Belairs, the Io Skies, the Asukas, the top tier people. Everybody else she's beaten. She's taking them down. She's snapping limbs. She's breaking arms. She's taking names. But when you want to build somebody up and give them a big win, a nice babyface win, like when you're ready to bring Liv Morgan back up to the title picture, this is who you feud her with. I think that's a perfect spot for somebody like Shayna Baszler.
Exactly. Basically be the heater, and then you overcome the heater. That's how you do it ultimately at the end of the day. And that's a good role for her on the SmackDown side of things for right now, or Monday Night Raw, because sometimes I'm confused as to which show she belongs to because they break the rules regarding this brand split with regularity.
They got rules. They got rules.
Allegedly.
Oh, I ain't know. Ain't nobody tell me about these rules that you're talking about. I just thought they were just doing stuff. I'm sorry. My bad, Keila.
They broke the rules 3 weeks into the draft. So we know there are no rules here.
Again, you keep mentioning rules. I'm waiting to see and hear these rules.
They don't exist. They're imaginary. They're fictitious. It's not real. I feel like Jonathan Frank's not real. It didn't happen. You didn't see anything. It's not there. There's no rules.
No.
There's no brand split. It's wild card. It's brand invitational. It's what you want it to be. Open season. Free agents who has no allegiances. They have the best deals in WWE, by the way.
And I want to say, MVP is a very smart manager if this free agent thing is real, because he technically is still not part of a brand.
Mm-mm.
He showed up at a pay-per-view where everybody's at, where there's no brand specific type stuff, a big battle royal, and was like, yeah, I'll do this one. I still got to pick a brand. I'm getting paid. Yeah, I'll show up for this one.
A smart, savvy businessman who I respect. And the free agents of 2023, I applaud you, because just float around, do what you want to do, how you want to do it. Like Omos, he went on a 2-month honeymoon, came back, did some work, got eliminated, and got paid.
Caught an L,
you, sir.
Came back and caught an L. The dude's like, man, where's Vince at? Where is Vince at?
Vince is currently laid up in bed, convalescing. His very bad back.
Getting ready to show up to court in a neck brace. Shout out to Mike and JD show their final. Hey, shout out real quick, man. Shout out to Mike and JD. Looking forward to seeing whatever y'all do in the future. Y'all's voices will be heard, and just shout out to y'all real quick, man. Looking forward to seeing what y'all do in the future.
Same, love them very much, and we wish them the very best in their next chapter. Cheers to them. As shout out Jamie Hayter as well with the koozie. Love that added touch.
And don't worry, the next episode of Unwrapped, because we keep it very unsafe during the week, is coming soon.
Oh my gosh. I blame.
What we got next?
I blame one person for this. Paul Fontaine. If you watch back this live feed on a delay, this is all your fault. As we segue to a happier match, a much better match, a palate cleanser, so to speak. It was Gunther, who is 32 days away from being the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history versus one Drew McIntyre. And we had my boy Ludwig Kaiser do the introduction like the only way he can, like a G. And I love that for him. Gunther comes out looking good as always, and Drew McIntyre comes out looking tough and good as always as well. And these two guys got us back on track because they gave us a big hoss battle back and forth for a good 15 to 20 minutes. It was a bruising battle, violent as expected. The crowd got into it. The more they laid in shots and chops, and we had Drew McIntyre do a flip dive on the outside. I love how he sparingly does that to make it count every time he does it. Gunther coming off the top with a splash of his own when he could not pin Drew McIntyre with the power bomb. Shocked me at first. Then we had Drew McIntyre going for a Claymore, and Gunther is going to kick out of that. Just great action throughout. Both guys putting in that work as always. And then we had Gunther do what he needed to do. Let me lay out a crossbody. Let me clothesline your ass and then hit you with the power bomb. 1, 2, 3 to retain the Intercontinental Championship. An outstanding match as expected between two guys that always deliver in the ring.
Yeah, this is actually a really, really good match. Actually, great match. It wasn't quite Sheamus, Gunther, wasn't quite the triple threat, but this was definitely in the conversation for match of the night. I thought this was fantastic work. I thought the story that they told was good. I thought Gunther, being the ring general that he is, he hit the splash, there was a kick out. He hit the power bomb, there was a kick out. He's like, you know what? I'm just hitting you with all three of them at once. He came off with the splash, followed with the lariat, then hit the power bomb for the pin. I mean, I love all of that because it's just a culmination. You see it building. He hits the power bomb and it builds to it. They had the chop battles. I mean, this was a physical match, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it might be time to start having the conversation about Gunther and this run that he's on as far as match quality. When you look at the matches that he's had, I mean, he's had 2 5-star matches this year against Sheamus and 4.5, 4 3/4 or whatnot. So I think the run that he's had with this title is something that we're going to be talking about for a while when we look back on it, because he's had a hell of just the matches that he's put on. I think the run he's on is definitely something that should be appreciated and talked about more.
Absolutely. And him defending on TV and PLEs means a lot to me as a fan. But I
Right.
think the thing that got him really in the conscious of fans was his performance at the Royal Rumble, being in that number 1 spot for 70 minutes. And he was
Good
just
call.
putting in that work against Cody Rhodes, and it opened people's eyes to say how special Gunther is as a wrestler. And that run for the last year or so has been prolific. He's going to break the record in a month. He'll be the longest reigning IC champion of all time. Sorry, Honky Tonk Man, our apologies. He had a good run for over 30 years, but now it's time for Gunther to hold that mantle to be the longest reigning champion ever in the IC title ranks. So he's just a dude right now. Like, he carries himself like a star. He doesn't get the what chant. People boo him accordingly. He has respect from the people, and he's a heel because of it. So all in all, I love Gunther. He's the best. And as you said, the work speaks for itself.
And I feel like he's definitely elevated this title, where when he has a title match, you look forward to it because he's the quality he's going to put on. So when he does lose this title, and hopefully it's to Sheamus, hopefully that should be the end game. That should still be the end game. That's the one title Sheamus hasn't won, and there's nobody better for him to win it from than Gunther. And it should be at Clash. It should be at the next Clash. But we'll save that for another day. But whenever he loses that title, it's going to mean something. And I'm going to be fully expecting him to go right into the next title scene. So great match. 4.5 tiers for me.
Cosign. 4 tiers. Add that half for good measure. Really enjoyed this match. And as you said, praying that Sheamus beats him for the championship. That is the only way this story could end. I want Sheamus to win the one belt. He has failed to do so far in his WWE career, and Gunther is the right guy to take that L, that he can move right on up to the World Heavyweight Championship or the Universal title, whatever title he wants heading into next year. But he's just that dude, period. And I adore him in every way. Badass, certifiable through and through. As we move on to our next match at SummerSlam, it is our third main event of the evening involving how sneaky WWE is.
When Michael Cole said, we have 4 main events, I was like, bro, you only got 8 matches. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm sorry. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Listen, it was a main event an hour. They spaced it out perfectly. So our third main event is the World Heavyweight Championship match between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. And let's state right now that this match cleared Money in the Bank by at least a whole continent and a half, and maybe a few country miles. That this match was awesome. We had great near falls. We had callbacks to SummerSlam 2016, the psychology, the throwbacks, the memories of it all. And Finn and Seth was balling throughout this match. We had some Judgment Day shenanigans towards the end, but come on, pedigree for pedigree, kick out for kick out. The drama, the fans being into it, like they was on this journey of two guys that are fighting and scrapping to be the very best. And Finn Balor had his share of fans last night in Detroit. They wanted him to win the championship. Seth is over, obviously, but there is a thread of 7 years of pain for Finn Balor written on the injured shoulder, by the way. The attention to detail in this match was so good, but it came down to some Judgment Day shenanigans, courtesy of Mommy and Dirty Dom, and Damian Priest comes out first with the Money in the Bank briefcase, trying to help a brother out, trying to help Finn. Hey, Finn, take the briefcase, take your shot. And Finn's like, no, I don't want to do it. Gets curb stomped, and then Finn kicks out. It just increases the drama even more. Then we have more shenanigans with Rhea and Dom, and then Damian once again says, here, take the briefcase, make your move. And then Seth curb stomps Finn on the briefcase, and he retains the championship. And after the match is over, it is the look on Damian Priest's face to say, I tried and you failed both times. And all I could do was marvel at the wonders of a hot comb for Damian Priest's hair tonight.
Definitely wasn't expecting to hear a hot comb tonight. Listen, I can tell you this. Definitely, there won't be any fun activities in the Judgment Day household tonight. He won't be using the mask. I can tell you that. Finn Balor definitely won't be using the mask tonight. Man, this is a great match. Fantastic match. This is definitely in the running for match of the night. I thought if there was ever a time to belt Finn Balor, this was it. Clearly, they just not in their plans. But, I think this match probably would have meant even a little bit more if they didn't have that first match. If this was the first meeting that they had since then, for that title, I think it would have meant a little bit more instead of having that title match beforehand. But again, this was fantastic. I'm going to go 4.5 tiers on this one too. I thought Seth Rollins was fantastic. The pedigree false finish from Finn Balor was great. Every false finish they had from that point just continued to build upon the last one. We went from Rollins takes out Priest, then he takes out Dominic. Balor comes in, hits him with the shotgun, then hits the coup de grace, kick out, the stomp kick out. This is where when you protect finishers, it means something. The coup de grace, a lot of people don't kick out of that. That's not something people kick out of. The stomp, people don't really kick out of the stomp like that. And again, something I've talked about on the Wrap before, Rollins has won matches on TV with the pedigree. So they all meant something, all added to the drama. Judgment Day coming out, even Damian Priest coming out had you kind of thinking, what's he going to do? Then he helps Finn Balor, and it would have been a perfect finish. So great match. Looking forward to see what they do next. clearly the bloodline faction is done, and Judgment Day is the new It faction until the new Hurt Business gets together. But that's a whole nother story.
Yes, and we're looking forward to that reconstituted Hurt Business very soon. I loved Montez and Dawkins whooping ass on SmackDown in suits, by the way. Just
He's
tearing
in
it
a
up.
suit.
Like
Michael
they
Cole.
was shocked,
He's in
like
a
Dawkins in a suit, whooping ass and not breaking a sweat, looking good and just doing things. And Bob was right there, Roberto cheering on his guys. I mean, I love
Oh,
it.
that
You know, I
man.
can't. Bob, Roberto, you know, I got to call Bobby by both names.
Oh snap, Roberto! I still need to create that character and get a screenshot of Roberto Lashley. I need to give him a mustache, give him a little fedora.
Yes. You have failed in your mission to do this for months now, and you need to do this so we can see the mock-up
All right.
of Roberto. But yeah,
I'll
we
get
love that
on
on
it.
SmackDown. It was really good. So hopefully the Her Business is back, looking good and better than ever with Bobby right in the middle of it. But yes, I love this match between Finn and Seth. Probably my favorite match of the night. Just, oh, great callbacks, memories, and the near falls had me going. And I think this match wore out the crowd for our next match, unfortunately, which is for the women's championship involving Charlotte Flair, looking like a very tall Little Red Riding Hood versus Bianca Belair. What she did. She did. Am I lying, Scott? Am I lying that she did not look like Little Red Riding Hood?
That is the most wicked looking Little Red Riding Hood I had ever seen in my life. That's the Little Red Riding Hood from the one where she ends up being the werewolf. That's that Little Red Riding Hood. Okay. She looked more like the Wicked Witch of the West.
No, she was given naughty Little Red Riding Hood. Not gonna lie.
I mean, it wasn't a bad look at all. I actually thought she looked pretty good, but it was still like, nah, you're not that sweet. To me, Little Red Riding Hood is sweet and innocent, and Charlotte Flair is anything but that.
No, she's far from it, but she was serving the look last night. I do like the ring gear. It's different for her. And I like that evolution. We have Bianca Belair coming out. Love the new highlights, by the way. She looked great last night. Love the glow. Asuka comes out there as well. Now, unfortunately, in the very beginning of this match, probably the first 10 minutes, the crowd was very quiet because they just went through this amazing World Heavyweight Championship match. They're dog tired. The ladies are working very hard, just kind of going through their spots. Nothing special. But let's shout out noted thespian Bianca Belair. Okay? Because she did the stellar job of a lifetime by clutching her knee.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
She was like belabored and she was hobbling around and she was selling. And then at one point, Charlotte Flair dumps Bianca on the outside. And we hear this clang against the steel steps and this screech by Bianca Belair, this horrifying screech. And she's crying, she's screaming. We got personnel coming to tend to her. We think it's a legit injury. The fans actually stand up and applaud, saying, "Oh, Bianca, we're so sorry," as Charlotte and Asuka continue the match on their own. And then Bianca Belair is going to find the strength to carry on, and she's going to hop her way back in the ring, and she's going to get on the top rope as Charlotte Flair has Asuka in the figure 8, and Bianca Belair with one goodwill is going to deliver a picture perfect, spotless 450 on Charlotte to break the submission for a very close near fall. And then she clutches her knee and starts to cry like she is selling her ass off, and the fans are waking up for this match. And the closing sequence was great as we had Charlotte Flair go after that knee, figure 8 time. Asuka is going to miss Charlotte in the face, thinking she's got Asuka, and nope, she doesn't. And then Charlotte thinks, "Oh, I got Bianca Belair. I got the win." Nope. Asuka goes for a knee strike. Bianca ducks, and then she rolls up Asuka while she's still in the figure 8 to pick up the victory to become the new women's world champion. It's a lovely moment. She celebrates for all of 30 seconds, and then Io Sky's music hits. I'm like, "Oh, shit. I know it's going to happen." We got Bailey. Shenanigans. We got Bailey whacking Charlotte, taking out Asuka, and it's with sadness and joy that Io Sky goes after the right knee of Bianca Belair. Shot blocks it with the briefcase. And then she cashes in, goes up top, lands the moonsault, becomes the new women's champion. Bailey does not turn on her friend for now. We got Dakota Kai coming out there to celebrate. I love the moment. And we got Michael Cole shouting out stardom on a live WWE PLE, showing love to Io Sky, brand new champion. Love her. Love the celebration. So adorable. I'm very happy for her, but I feel for Bianca because she had a Charlotte Flair reign of all of 2 minutes.
Yeah, I definitely got a little bit worried that the evil Snow White was going to make Princess Tiana tap out. So definitely got a little worried about the Disney battle we had going on right there, but everything worked out in the end. You feel me? You feel me, Keila?
That Disney comparison is so warped, but accurate.
Come on, right? Spot on. But the match was okay. It built well towards the end. I thought the ending stretch was good. I really liked the ending. I think I liked the ending, but I think the 450 would have been a better ending. Especially since she had Asuka set up right there. Asuka was writhing in pain, looked like she was ready to tap out, looked like Charlotte Flair was ready to get the title. And, I thought that 450 would have been the perfect thing. One thing I do want to point out, though, there were 2 pinfalls, 2 separate matches, and Charlotte Flair didn't take not one of them. Let me tell you that. Charlotte Flair said, yeah, we're going to have 2 title changes. I'm good on this one. I'll wait till next month to win that title for a quick couple of weeks or something. I'm good on that one. Bianca said, I'll take it. I'll take that reign. Let me add to that. But I'm happy for Io Sky. I'm excited to see what comes next, what the next stage is, how long before we get the Io Sky versus Bailey match. Because obviously that is an end game that's coming. I can see that being at a Survivor Series, some type of PLE like that, something built to. But the crowd went crazy for Io Sky. The moonsault was spot on. Bianca Belair, you mentioned the sell job, spot on. This will get 3.5 tiers from me. The beginning was just there. It was fine. They definitely had some work to do, but I thought the ending stretch was really good.
Agreed. I have to give it 3.5 tiers as well out of 5. It was a good match. The second half, first half was just kind of there, as you said. And I'm very happy for Io Sky. Her and Bailey can have a great rivalry at some point very soon. But we also know who's coming back imminently very soon. Press conference going down today because I do believe Kairi Sane is returning to WWE.
I actually think that means more trouble for Io Sky because I think Asuka's getting herself a little bit of backup, and the Pirates are coming. I don't know if they're gonna do the Kabuki Pirates again, but that team in and of itself, they coming. So I look forward to that. I think we have ourselves a good chance for some great matches over that women's championship in the near future. And, Triple H is somebody who took care of Kairi Sane when she was in NXT. She was a top tier babyface, and I expect no less here on the main roster.
Exactly. Cannot wait to see her back very soon. So very welcome news, Kairi back in WWE. I'm excited. So as we put that excitement to bed for right now, let's get to the final match of SummerSlam 2023. It is tribal combat. It is for the right to be called the tribal chief, the right to be called the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. It is the real chief, allegedly, Jey Uso, versus the actual tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And this match was everything we thought it would be and so much more. It was physical. It was bruising. We had shenanigans galore from Solo Sikoa helping his cousin along the way and stabbing his brother in the back with a spinning solo through a table by the production area. And then we have Roman picking the bones. We have kendo stick shots. We have steel chair bumps, courtesy of Roman to Jay at one point as well. We have Jay avoiding the spear, Samoan spike combo, spearing Roman, splashing him. And then something happens. as Scott and I predicted weeks ago on the wrap.
Mhm.
We got the Bella Twins finish from SummerSlam 2014 as Jay had the win within his grasp, but someone pulled him out of the ring. We wonder who it could possibly be.
No, he didn't.
And
No, he didn't. No,
no,
not a single person wondered who it was that pulled him out the ring. We knew it wasn't Solo because he
no,
was already laid out. So we not and we knew it wasn't Paul Heyman because Paul Heyman's not that strong. So
no,
not a single person wondered who it was.
no. And it was not Rikishi either. Okay. So we just want to clarify these are not the people
Right,
who we thought it was going to be. It's only one man. And he reveals himself to be Jimmy Uso. And I pretend to be shocked at this because I'm not. We knew what was going to happen. And so Jay has the look of, brother, you're forsaken me. And the irony of one brother wearing white, one brother wearing black. And then Jimmy super kicks his brother. And then he's going to help his cousin Roman Reigns. Roman can't believe it. Like, dude, I beat your ass a month ago and you just gifted me this victory? Family, we're back together. I apologize, Oos. So Roman is going to spear Jay through the table in the corner because we know the table was going to be used at some point to pick up the win to retain the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. I've read the feedback on social media saying, oh my God, how could you do this? We don't want brother versus brother. I'm like, listen, okay. The Bloodline is the greatest saga in professional wrestling today. It is another chapter in this story. Jay is going to have to go through some things because, as we all know, dating back to the moment that Jay turned on Roman, Jimmy never believed in Jay. That was a genuine truth that he has not backed down from, apparently. And we know that Jimmy and Jay are going to cook on the mic. And I know the brother versus brother thing is going to be very dicey because the chemistry can be a little so-so. But I'm going to go Owen and Brett here. I have faith they're going to deliver when it counts most. And my prediction of Jay relying on his, play brothers, Sammy and Kevin, to even the odds is going to play out heading to Survivor Series this fall. But Scott, your thoughts on this match and the surprise that wasn't with Jimmy flipping on his brother?
You keep mentioning that word surprise. I don't know about that one, but no, I thought the match was good. The match was, I mean, people can say what they want if it's it's a Roman match and whatnot, but Roman matches are good. Like, those are good matches, regardless of how you look at it, and they know how to make good near falls. Keila, I think what you said, I think it was last week, which you mentioned about the timeline, how things are going to go. I think you're spot on, and I think that timeline fits perfectly. Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes in a War Games match. I mean, Cody obviously wants to do a War Games match. Why wouldn't he? And it would fit the story perfectly. Let's not forget, I mentioned this last week. The finish at WrestleMania was almost perfect. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Cody Rhodes. Roman kicked out, but that was the finish. Now we add a Jey Uso's frog splash into that. That's the finish right there. And Sami Zayn might end up getting the pinfall. That might be where Sami gets his win back. But Keila, I think as much as we want to talk about this match, I think it's more important now to talk about what's ahead. And I think what you said, what you laid out as far as Survivor Series going forward, that's spot on. 4 tiers from me. 4.25 tiers. I enjoyed the match. 4.25 tiers for me for the match, but what you said is spot on. And I think that's the real key coming out of this is what's the next thing. And I think you already laid it out for us.
The next chapter, I do believe. I'm looking forward to the Jay and Sammy reunion to really reignite their friendship and brotherhood, and Kevin to be along for the ride, and that makes total sense. And then we have this other suggestion that this will probably lead to Jimmy versus Jay at WrestleMania, brother versus brother. I'm here for that because this is Jay's next chapter for now, and it does set up Roman for what we do believe will be the true final chapter of his run against Cody, presumably at WrestleMania 40. And that will be the time Solo makes his decision to say, you know what? I'm tired of taking orders now. So I'm going to just go ahead and do my thing, turn on my cousin, and then maybe I want to be tribal chief. So all of this is going to be the ever evolving bloodline saga. I'm going to call it the bloodline 2.0 right now, with Jimmy, Roman, and Solo running things on SmackDown, Jay needing friends in the form of Sammy and Kevin very soon. So I'm all for what they're doing right now. I'm not panicking because this was expected, but I think through the performances of Jimmy and Jay, they're going to really deliver, and their matches, whenever they happen, are going to be stellar.
We'll see. You know, I had really high hopes for like the Jeff and Matt Hardy matches, and I came away from those a little disappointed. That's just me, but we'll see what happens. I think you're probably right. I think there's no reason to doubt the storyline and the chapters they're in. Paul Heyman said they are in the bottom of the third inning at his press conference.
Oh
So
my God, no.
we got 6 more to go. But no, this was a good chapter in the story. I was absolutely expecting Bray Wyatt to come back because, you know, Payback was when Roman took the title from The Fiend. I thought that would have been a nice little hook for Payback. And maybe that still is the hook going forward. But I think this coming Monday and this coming Friday are going to be very interesting to see who Seth Rollins and who Roman Reigns have next in line, because somebody has to step up and somebody's going to have to at least get ready for Roman, at least for Survivor Series. And Seth Rollins, we know he likes to have a challenger every month. So I'm looking forward to the next Raw and SmackDown to see who is up next.
Yes. And despite the pushback that I've seen in some forms of social media, the bloodline is still the biggest ratings movers in professional wrestling. And whatever they're going to do on Friday is going to move numbers. And that is going to be the story, period. People are going to watch. They're compelled by this storyline. And listen, Paul, dude, no, we're not in the bottom of the third. We're in the 7th inning, okay? It will be the longest 7th inning stretch ever, but I ain't going back. I'm not backsliding 4 innings, sir. No way in the hell I'm doing that. But Scott also made another good point in that there is some fear of this could be Jeff versus Matt Hardy in WWE. But let's think about this as well. They did make up for it in Impact Wrestling via the final deletion. So there is hope for brother versus brother succeeding despite the beginnings in WWE that did not end well. Because according to canon in WWE, Matt burnt down Jeff's house and killed his dog.
Well, that's not cool. Yeah, I watched that, and that's fine. But I don't want to have to watch Impact to see them have a good match. But I agree, it'll probably be good. Yeah, this is a good pay-per-view. Good way to cap off it. Looking forward again. Really looking forward to see what's next, because I'm curious to see who they do have ready to go for these guys coming up next, because that's what's important.
Absolutely. So that is a wrap for SummerSlam 2023. So Scott, your final score on your tier scale, shouting out the koozie once again by my girl Jamie Hader, get real soon. So Scott, your final score for SummerSlam 2023 on a scale from 1 to 10 tiers.
I'm gonna give it a 7. This SummerSlam definitely did not drink the haterade. It was on point. Good show. Good way to start it off. Logan Paul, Ricochet, and I thought that entire back half of main events, because you know they had 4 main events out of the 8 matches, but the entire back half of the show I thought was really good.
Agreed. A main event an hour. How they spaced it out. That's how they got it done. So we respect them.
Can I ask you a question real quick, Keila? I know we got to go real quick. What were the 4 main events? Brock Cody, obviously.
Yes.
Roman Jay. What were the Finn Seth? What was the 4th? Was it Logan Ricochet, or was it the women's match?
It could have been the women's match, or it could have been Gunther versus Drew McIntyre.
So we don't even know what the 4th main event was.
It's choose your poison. Which one you thought was the 4th main event?
I can tell you what it wasn't.
It was not Ronda versus Shayna.
Tell you what it wasn't.
No. That's one process of elimination that is absolutely 100% foolproof. It was not Ronda versus Shayna main eventing in the 4th spot. No way in the hell. But yeah, I would give SummerSlam 7 out of 10 as well. A solid show, 1 week match on the card. But I gotta say, the booking made sense. I was here for most of the finishes, and I was thoroughly entertained. Detroit came through. They were cold when they needed to be cold because they needed to come down a couple of times, but mostly they were hot, and I love that for crowds that sell out the house in arenas and stadiums all over for WWE as of late.
Yeah, I agree. Happy, excited, and looking forward to this again. This is a good live show. This is our first live show we've had, live post shows. So I'm excited to do more of these.
Yeah, do them once a month right here on the YouTube channel for Fight Game Media. We'll be back next month with Payback going down in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in September. But in the interim, in the meantime, in between time, we're going to come through. I think Scott has a pop vinyl to showcase Bianca Belair, the one and only, the
Whoa.
queen, the EST, our champion for 2
I
minutes.
meant to bring this out during the match, but you know me,
You
not on time.
forgot. You forgot. And let's be real for a second as well. Bianca Belair, SummerSlam is not your show. You've been cursed the last 2 out of 3 years. The pain. First, you and Becky, then you redeemed yourself against Becky last year, and now this happens to you. Beware of SummerSlam. It is not your show, girl, at all.
Yeah, next year, just skip it.
Please do. We kid, but hopefully it works out better for her. But as for us, we'll be back next Monday morning via patreon.com/Fight Game Media for the wrap, as we will take a deep dive into the week that was upcoming for WWE across Raw, SmackDown, and NXT to recap everything from the fallout from SummerSlam right here on your favorite place to get all of your goodies in terms of professional wrestling and mixed martial arts. Patreon.com/Fight Game Media for Fight Game Media Network Plus. So for myself and for Perky Scott Young, thank you as always, Scott, for joining me to recap all things WWE right here on YouTube.
I wonder if I have to change my name now since we're exclusively Patreon. I haven't decided. I wonder if I have to change my name or if it's just going to be depending on the mood. So I guess we'll find out next week.
Teasing the people. So a new nickname could be imminent, ladies and gentlemen. But you gotta drop that 5 or 10 for the Fight Game Media Network Plus on Patreon to find out if Scott has a new nickname for next Monday's show. But until then, that is a wrap for SummerSlam 2023 right here on YouTube. For myself and Perky Scott Young, that is a wrap. Take care. Bye-bye.